AskReddit by Sigma Tiger 35. Who is the worst person in the world? Likely someone we have never heard of. Interesting ethical question. Does worst mean the person with the most hatred and bitterness toward their fellow man? Then yes, it would probably be a person whose circumstances have condemned them to a life of squalor, suffering and insignificance. However, I believe there is a behavioral active element to true evil. And so if there is such a thing as the most evil person, I think it's most likely someone who had a large mark on history and went to their grave thinking they were the hero. No idea, but whoever put 16 nuggets in my 12 count is somewhere near the top of the list for best person in the world. Bless the nugget givers. Ian Watkins. Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka. The pose just laid in bed while his family was poor and starving. Then suddenly is able to get out of bed and dance around when presented with a golden ticket. Then he gets Charlie to break the rules, and acts all fucking entitled when Wonka calls them out on it. There's a reason Epstein didn't make it a year in prison. The PPL behind it are rich and amp, powerful and amp. Their identities will never be revealed. I sometimes wonder who is actually the richest and have the most power, and do they actually control whole us and possibly many other countries. That person would be my pick. The lady who forgot my beefy 5-layer at Taco Bell. War crime. Countries have gone to war over less. Reddit at its Redditest in these comments. Lol. Never let Reddit forget the Boston bombing event. People who drive really slow in the passing lane on the highway. Why is everyone tailgating me? That guy. Those big pharma guys who made billions getting people hooked on opiates. They are the Sackler family. Klaus Schwab. Unelected person with global influence. He founded the World Economic Forum, which from what I gather is just a group of billionaires trying to destroy the planet and create as much wealth for themselves at the expense of the poor and working class. Wasn't somebody from his family a literal Nazi? This guy at the second 711 down the street from my house always gives me incorrect change and tries to tell me that I gave him a $10 instead of a $20 every goddamn time. That gets really old, really fast. I am so sick of this phone. The typos are pissing me off. The keys are too close together. Currently? Kim Jong-un cool. Seriously? Up there, of course, but I'd say Putin, no question. Both in terms of his own motives and, obviously, in terms of his impact. You. The asshole that refuses to return their shopping cart to the cart corral. That's 50% of the people who use them. My mother-in-law. Putin. Putin hardly killed 10,000 civilians over the course of 1.5 years, and here we have Netanyahu who killed 18,000 in just 2 months. Easy, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. I thought you were joking, but that's really his middle name, LMAO. Alive? Putin. Putin, Kim Jong-un, 11 Jinping, Ali Khamenei. So many come to mind. But not Netanyahu. Cindy. I hate her. I hate that bitch too. Owner of McDonald's. The Filet-O-Fish is getting smaller and smaller, has anyone noticed? Same with the Big Mac. Klaus Schwab. Rupert Murdoch has to be up there. The far reach of his poisonous beliefs trumps that even of world leaders. Alive right now, all the cunts who molested children on Epstein's Island and the Iranian government for sponsoring terrorism throughout the Middle East and prolonging the Israel-Palestine war. Dead. I'd say a tie between Adolf Hitler, Mao Zedong, Stalin, and Genghis Khan. Well, Henry Kissinger is dead, and he left a job opening. So, that leaves the field wide open. I was watching MSNBC when they announced live that he had died. They promptly gave a couple minutes on his bio, and then never mentioned him again. I think when Jimmy Carter dies they'll give Jimmy maybe a little more coverage.